Howdy. Hello, hello.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing okay. Just been busy.
We'll try to keep today brief. I think we're both kind of busy.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll try to do that because I've been it's been kind of weird. I've been working on the application and then finding little things on my Facebook page and tying them with other places where I have my prints available and getting that synced up. So I'm in websites. I'm all over the place. Um,
Wow. Maybe in your next call we need to talk about focusing.
yeah, right. Because
You got too
because
much going on.
I'll find something that's wrong, and it's like, oh God, this has been wrong for like so long. I thought I had it taken care of, and and then I get down that rabbit hole,
Down that road.
especially with my website. Website,
Websites are
God, it's
tough, dude. There's too
yeah,
much tech involved and they're so intricate and I
yeah,
hate it. I pretty much gave up on my website. Um until I hire like an actual web person, I'm just done with it.
yeah. It's too
Uh,
much time consuming.
it is. It's very
Uh,
time
but
consuming.
uh, but one thing is though, I finally got a business phone line now,
Oh, cool.
and it's really important for me because the phone number that I have that I give people to call, it's the area code is still in Georgia, you know. So this one here that I have, it's a local area number, so that lets them know that okay, this is a local guy. He's in the community, and I'm it's actually because I asked around as far as like because I'm with T-Mobile with my cell phone, and they were going to charge me like $15 a month to add another line.
Uh-huh.
Here I got it through my website, and it's $10 a month.
Perfect. Sure.
So yeah.
I know a lot of people use Google Voice as well. So it's
Hmm.
basically through your own phone, but it doesn't disguise your number. It just gives them a different number and it's not local. Um,
Oh,
so some people use that. I have a New York area code out here in Colorado, and some people, it's funny when you're in sales, like when I was selling cars, I would use my cell phone almost exclusively. Sometimes it makes people answer the phone, like if you call them, if you're doing cold calling, which we're never going to be doing, because they answer and they think you're going to be some sort of telemarketer or a robot or something, and they're surprised to get a person on the line, and they're like, oh, okay.
hmm,
And then some people won't answer because it's not local. So you have
right.
two different schools of thought on that. I
Yeah,
haven't changed it just because I don't want to. I don't think it's really holding my business back in any way.
yeah.
But to each their own, you know. So that's cool that you got that and got that cleared up. So this week was all about finding shows. You already have a pretty good grasp on that, but
Uh, no, actually, I learned I learned some things because I went over it last night.
mhm.
Um, that you said in the lesson that I was going to go ahead and do, but after your lesson, it kind of paused me for a minute. It
Made you think
was doing solo shows compared to group shows.
okay.
Yeah,
All right. So let me do a real quick rundown here. I'm doing a screen share, so I've got, the lesson up. You guys all have the 10 places to find art shows, so you can always refer back to that. It's
yeah,
a great resource.
it
Um,
is.
I've already taught you how to do, finding people and art opportunities on Facebook. I showed you a little bit on Instagram. Did you have any questions about either of those? I feel like you have a pretty good grasp on all that.
Yeah. It's, what, it's funny. When you showed me that, I was like, duh, I should have done that with the art collectors. I mean, I actually did it, but I'm like friends. The one that you, cause on the lesson, the one that you looked at, I think was Sell Art Online. I'm a part of that group. And sometimes I'll advertise my stuff out there, but it's,
You're not getting any engagement, are you?
No.
So that's the thing about all these Facebook groups and Instagram too. You have to try each one. And then if you don't get much response after, 2 or 3 or 4 consistent posts, I've been leaving groups. I've been leaving groups that won't let me advertise. I've been leaving groups that say you can only post pictures, you can't sell.
Right.
I've been leaving groups where I can post or advertise, but I get 0 engagement because either people aren't seeing them because there's, literally, 200 posts per day. Who the hell is seeing any of it? There's no reason. You're better off finding groups where there's maybe, 10 posts a day. Then your post might actually get seen.
So I guess 10 is a good number. 10 to 20 is a good number of posts per day for that group for you to actually join.
Yeah, they're hard to find, dude. A lot of these groups that have like 20,000 members, they've got 1,000 posts a day. So you're like, is it even worth it? So I've been doing this where like I splatter advertise, and then I see what comes back to me. If someone's actually liking the post, I'll keep that group. If after 2 days of that post being up, I got 0 likes, 0 engagement whatsoever, I'll leave the group because I know now that it's just not even worth it. So that's a little bit of experimentation and just sort of sifting through stuff. And I know it's time consuming, but again, we want to know where our stuff is appreciated, because again, we're looking for our ideal clients and we're looking for the methods that are going to be the easiest path to money and exposure. So, so yeah, if you're not getting engagement, just ditch those groups. I mean, you can stay in them, but you're going to need to I just leave them so that I know not to post in there. So I don't have to remember which ones are which,
Yeah, I just think I got to take like a day or so to really mine through the Facebook and also the Instagram. Because the Instagram, and this is stupid of me. I didn't really because I just did that last night. Just like what I did do with Facebook. Yeah. Just do the art collector search. I finally did that on Instagram and got hooked up with a couple of groups, looked at them. So what would be like the optimal number of members? Would it be less than 20,000?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Because here's the thing. Once a group gets that large,
you're lost.
You're lost in there. You're completely lost in there. You're one fish in a humongous pond. And it doesn't matter how big of a fish you are, because unless you're posting in there 5 times a day, every day, no one's going to see your stuff.
Right.
And who's got time for that?
Because that's just like with Instagram, because I took this course on LinkedIn where it talked about Instagram marketing.
Yeah.
And you when it comes to like doing your hashtags, you want to find the hashtag that's not too big, like has a whole lot of people hashtagging it.
Yeah.
with the same tag because it'll get stay lost. But it's got to be kind of unique.
Right.
So it's like a weird, fine little area
So on Instagram, I'll use.
so that you get enough exposures, enough clicks.
Hi, doggy. I know. I'll use a couple really, really big hashtags like, you know, art of the day, art for sale, artists on Instagram, that kind of stuff. Because it has to be in there. But then I'll really, really, really narrow it down to exactly what the piece is. Like my most recent post on Instagram, I'm not sure. I'm actually not seeing the engagement I want on Instagram either. I don't know why this girl keeps popping up when I do this. So I did this one in my, where's all my oops, I liked my own picture. Where's all my tags? Where's my hashtags? Where's my description?
Oh.
Go to post. There it is. No. Where are all my hashtags? Ah. There was like a million hashtags on this.
Oh, wow.
Where's my description? Where is the description? What happened to my description? All right, well, there's no description, and that's probably why that's not getting as much engagement as I wanted to. What happened to mine? All right, anyway, so there you go. So make sure your description is in there with your hashtags. But you can get really specific with your hashtags. You know, this one was more focused on my art coaching. This one, okay, abandoned places, abandoned photography, abandoned building. And then this was Buffalo stuff. So Buffalo, New York, Buffalo photographer, digital photography. You know, that's kind of a big one, but it kind of needs to be in there so that anybody who's dialing that up, my stuff comes up.
Right.
Artwork, art of the day, photography. That's humongous, obviously. There's millions of posts about photography, but it still needs to be in there. You can have as many hashtags as you want to. Sepia photography. See, these are much more specific.
Yeah.
Don't forget to add your own name in there. Start making your own hashtag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll start building it out. That. Yes, you'll start building it out. You are a hashtag. Because then once people want to start like re-tagging you, you have a hashtag.
Oh, okay.
And then all of your images are attached to that hashtag. So that way, if someone else does that same hashtag, and you can make posts about this too. Hey guys, you want to share my stuff? Use hashtag Carlos Burgess Arts, or whatever. So whatever you decide. So yes, you have to use some really big hashtags and then some very, very specific hashtags.
Yeah.
And it's all a work in progress. You know, it's about consistency. The more and more we do this stuff, the more and more we find what is the best, what is the most bang for our buck, shall we say, which our buck is our time. You know, how can I spend the least amount of time doing this stuff and get the biggest return?
Yeah.
All right, so cafe, callforentry.org. You've used that before?
No, this is my first time using it. I started last night, uploaded two images. So I got a little bit ways to go.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's all a work in progress. This is the real deal here. This is where almost all major galleries know and use callforentry.org.
Oh, okay.
And even a lot of small galleries use them too. So this is important to know about. It's important to know how to use. It's important to know how to sort through it so that you can find the kind of calls that you're looking for. So obviously it is easiest to start with your local area. So you can go down to, basically just your state and what's available in your state. Then you can kind of go regional and you'll find stuff that's like only for the Northeast, only for the South, only for the Midwest, only for the Western states. You'll find stuff that's like West Coast only, like, oh, we're only California, Oregon, and Washington, like Pacific.
Yeah.
So it's as we grow as artists, and this is exactly what I started doing. I've been using Call for Entry for probably close to a decade. Yeah.
Wow.
I started with local shows, like, all right, let me find what's local. Then I started with regional shows. I did a show that was I shipped my artwork to Maryland. Like, it was a juried show. And God, I'd have to look at my exhibitions list. I need to find that and post it. It was a juried show. They accepted my entry. I had to ship them my artwork, which was just small. It was like 8x10 with 11x14 frame. And they displayed it for the whole show, and then they shipped it back to me. So I got to participate in that show, even though I didn't go. I didn't go to the opening. I never went and saw the show. But I still did the show. And it's still something to put on your list, and it's still, that way I got to exhibit in a different state.
Okay.
So that was a really cool opportunity. And not to mention that, again, you have to try these juried shows because you can't just always be scared of not making it in, So even if it's something you can't necessarily attend, so long as the directions say that you don't have to be there, they'll hang it for you, they'll display it for you as long as it's ready to hang, then why not do it? Because at least people from another state got to see your stuff in person. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so obviously, and this is where stuff gets interesting based on your current situation, since you are in the middle of a submission process. So in CAFE, it's usually sorted, or you can sort it by how far away the submission date is. So that's pretty cool because you can see like, oh, this is too close. This submission deadline is tomorrow. There's no way. So I'm just going to move down the list. And you can find something that's, a month out or whatever. So let me ask you this about your current submission process for the mural. How are you feeling? Because the day that you decided that you wanted to do it, you had a 2-week deadline. So how are you feeling about meeting your deadline?
I'm a little less confident I'll be able to meet it because I really just want to just settle on one. I think they said I need to have like 4 images, or they just want me to upload 1 image.
I think it was just 1 from what I had read.
Because I just want to just do just that 1 image that I have that I showed you and just go with that.
I mean, it's a strong image already. So, and again, here's the thing. When we're doing this and submissions, when submissions become part of our regular practice, sometimes we're going to be fed up. And we're going to say, you know what, this is going to have to be good enough. And we're going to submit it anyway. Now, that's not to say that you should constantly be submitting things that you're not proud of or that you're not 100% on. But we can't spend 100 years on a submission that might not be accepted when we have
Yeah.
other time to spend on things that we know we're going to make them great. Like if you're in the middle of like your masterpiece painting, sometimes that's going to take precedence over either meeting this deadline or making sure that this submission is polished to a T. So
Right.
that's sort of our life as an artist, is we have to stay busy with the business end of things, because if we don't, then we don't know where we're going, and we're not securing our next opportunities. But we
Yeah.
also have to prioritize the things that are going well and are feeling good. So if
Right.
the submission process is becoming sort of gnashy and yucky feeling, I think it's quite good enough to submit the image that you have, finish up the budget, and go ahead and submit it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Cause it's like, I've already got this commitment with this art show, which is on the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's going to be, so let's say that I do get selected, that's going to be an interruption to the process of me actually doing the actual mural itself. Cause I have to be, the deadline to finish the mural is September 14th.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. So not
Mm-hmm.
only do you have to deal with the time to the deadline of the submission, but you're correct. Normally these opportunities will have basically a separate end date.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to be considered when you're looking at these opportunities as well. Now, realistically, how long do you think it would take for you to make that mural?
Gosh, I don't know. It'd be longer than a month or so. I just knowing how I am as far as details and everything. Especially with a mural like outside. It'll
Okay.
take me longer than that, to be honest with you.
Okay. So correct. You have things to consider like weather, you're not going to be painting in the rain. The detail of the photo. Now, here's a thought. What if you turned the portrait into less of a realistic portrait and more of a either a line drawing or a what the heck do you call it? Posterized. So your gradations are not a realistic gradation. They're more of a
Yeah.
cartoonish gradation.
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, yeah, that'll cut down on the time or whatever. But I guess I would go with another whole design altogether. And I mean, I can come up with something fairly. I can come up with something quick. I'll just get like a couple, maybe some people together, and get like maybe a cartoon, maybe take an image of the protests and kind of cartoonize that image.
Maybe try not to put too many people in there, because that's gonna obviously
No,
add to the time.
yeah, I'd say about 3 people.
Sure. So here's the thing. I'm not pushing you to do this one because you do have other stuff going on. And again, this comes
Yeah.
down to what next week is about, which is calendaring. Okay. So
Right.
here's the thing. If you decide that it's too much stress and it's too much pressure, that's my only suggestion, is to make the mural image, simpler so that it could be completed in a quicker fashion. I
Yeah.
do agree that the timeline that they gave was pretty tight. 2 weeks for a mural seems rather short. Well, I guess it's not 2 weeks, because the deadline is the 7th, and then they want
It's
it
like
done by
5
September
weeks.
14th. But they don't say
Like,
when they're going to tell the people. They didn't say when they were going to.
Right, when you're actually going to get the bid, and it just says that the deadline to submit the application is the 7th, but
Yeah.
they didn't tell us when they would make their selection as far as who won, the grant money to do all of this.
Right. And then you still have to like buy your supplies and
Right.
So, there's a couple of issues with this particular call. And it's things like that we can look at when we're looking at these calls. You can look for these details and say, well, that's confusing. And a lot of times there's not even like a phone number to call. There's no way to contact these people to answer your question. So it's something to think about when we are, and you'll get more used to this. When you're going through calls, you'll say, well, they didn't even provide enough information for me to decide whether or not I can do this call.
Yeah.
So, and that's all okay because it's a learning process. Mm-hmm. So if you decide not to do this one, fine. If you decide you want to keep doing this one, that would be my suggestion, is to simplify the image.
Okay.
Yeah. The image is beautiful, by the way, but like I said, if you could do either his face in more of just change the gradations and don't make them so realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, like breadth of work. Are you capable? So here's the thing. I'm not going to apply for a muralist thing because I don't paint, but it goes so much deeper than that too. So I see a lot of calls for like public art, and I can't really apply for those because my work is not weatherproof, nor would I even really have a way to make weatherproof stuff. I suppose I could start wheat pasting photographs onto exterior walls, but I'm not prepared to do that. So a lot of these calls, they might sound really cool and they might be something you're interested in, but if you're not already set up to do it, don't try to squeeze yourself into whatever time frame and say, oh, I'm going to learn to do that and do this submission and make it all work in the time frame, because it's not going to work out for you.
No, it's kind of like whatever I have already done, I just try to make it easier for my, on ourselves, is like, okay, whatever work that I have done that they're looking for, just bring it, pack it up, bring it in.
Exactly.
That's all it is. Because if you haven't done it, and if you got to put more work into it to do it, then wait for the next one.
Right. Now you can find calls where the submission deadline is 3-4 months out, even 6 months out. And those are kind of cool because those give you an opportunity to say, okay, I don't have anything made for that yet, but I can make something with that show in mind. And then maybe it'll work out along the way that, yes, I end up submitting it to that show.
Yeah.
Because I've done that as well.
I would like to really match, like, right, that like, if they're asking for like portraiture work or cartoon work or whatever, 6 months down the road, and they want something new or unique or something, then yeah, I'll jump on those shows because it's right in line as far as what I do, and it's not too stressful. It's not no hurry up quick, we got to get this in,
right?
And that's another thing, is like, why is it that is it usually the case that they advertise this stuff, or maybe I think, you know what it is, I never really I never really got exposed to the call for artists and all the other stuff. So I'm not in the loop with that regard. And so when I do get this information, it's like 5 days till this happens, or 2 days till, we need artists to do this,
Well,
or a week out.
so how are you finding how'd you find this show?
Um, I got it from, okay, I was on this Facebook group. It's called Brain Business Resources and Information Networking Opportunity, or something like that.
Okay.
And gosh, I think it was that. And then I got on their promotion group, and I think maybe I think that's where I met Shannon Kill.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when I hopped on with you. I guess that's how
that all happened.
I guess.
Yes. Thank you,
Yeah,
Shannon.
I think that's how it happened.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, but I think it was just maybe it's just my conscious effort to like focus on getting in with these call of action groups and that circle, so that I know what's coming up in my local areas and in my region,
Mm-hmm.
so that I'm able to plan better and not feel pressured to get something done within a month.
Okay.
And then or like I'll have something scheduled within that month, and then I see this and like, oh crap,
Okay. So a note on that. Okay. Artists and people like people who organize art shows are usually artists or artistic as well.
Mm-hmm.
Frequently, that means they are disorganized and procrastinators. Okay.
Oh.
So a lot of times you will find that shows that get put out, hey, I have this idea for a show. They slap it together, they call for work, and you're right, there's not enough lead time. And they're like, oh, we'll work it out as it goes. Okay, well, fine. You can try to slam yourself into those boxes and slam yourself into that tight of a calendar, or you can just look at calls that are farther out. I have run across so many shows that were poorly organized with not enough lead time that it just, it becomes problematic for the artists, it becomes problematic for the organizers, and then the community, sees the whole thing go down and goes, it was a lackluster show. And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
well, great. I think what's happening right now too, maybe with that particular call that you're working on, is that the community saw a need and wanted something done immediately. And that's great, except that because of that, they may not get the caliber of entries that they had hoped for because there's
Right.
not enough time. So it'll be interesting to see who does the final mural and what it comes out like, yes. So
yeah, I get it. So that kind of explains everything, because it's like, hey, we got to call the art show, call for artists, and it's like 2 weeks out. I'm like,
yeah, and that
what the hell
is problematic. Is problematic for everybody. So here's some other things to think about when you're doing a show. Okay, we've talked a bit about this. Does it match your style? Do you already have something made? Okay, so we know now that obviously it's going to be easier if you already have something made, or you have to look at a call that's 6 months out and say, all right, I think I could try something that might fit that show, or maybe even not submit it, but hey, that's a cool idea. Let me see if I can work something out for that. The other thing to think about here, especially after you do this for a while, so what is this show going to do for you? Let's say you did get that mural. Other than payment for your time, what's that going to get you?
I would think it would give me a lot of exposure. People would, going down that area. Well, Yeah, down at Neon District. It's kind of like downtown Norfolk area. I might get some exposure. I don't know if people go downtown anywhere anymore. You know,
It's a weird time right now.
right.
Yeah. So yeah.
I know if I did the mural with the actual, the design that I have that I showed you, I would get some calls. I know I would get some calls.
Yes. So when we're looking at calls, we have to always think of like, okay, is this something that's going to get me exposure? Is it going to make people call me? How are they going to find your contact information? Because here's the thing. When I look at a mural on a wall, I might see a signature, but other than that name, I don't have a way to contact that person. I might, if I was forward thinking, I might Google the person, in which case your name would come up and hopefully your contact information. Come on, doggy. Come on. But most people don't actually take it that further step. They just go, oh, wow, that's a really cool mural. So what you have to do is promote, okay? So let's say you did get the mural job. You would have to document the whole thing and be posting about it. You'd have to do a press release, send the press release to the news stations, say, hey, this is going on in the community, okay? That's how you maximize your growth potential out of a particular show or opportunity. You can't just do it and then hope the people know that it was you and know that you have other work for sale, because they might think you're only a mural artist.
Mm-hmm.
They might not even think that you also have tile work for sale and paintings for sale and drawings and you're a cartoonist. They don't know any of that. They just think, oh, Carlos Burgess made this really cool mural on this wall. So in order to really make our shows into future opportunity, we have to be consistently telling the people what is going on and disseminating this information and using other people to do the same. Like, you can write one press release and you can send it to the radio station, you can send it to the news stations, you can send it to tons of other local organizations, and they will help you disseminate this information. Yes.
Really?
Yes, they will.
So I guess for my virtual art show, I can send it to the news, my local.
You could try. So here's the thing: the news decides what they do, but if you hit the right person, it'll go in. I'm sure almost every city has an alternative newspaper. Like, they have their big newspaper and then they have like their artsy fartsy newspaper.
Yeah.
Don't send it to the big one, send it to the artsy fartsy one. Try to find a local contact like at the paper and make friends with them. That's big.
Actually, I don't know if she's, well, they changed. They're now part of like Virginia Media. They used to be with the local newspaper. I met her at a networking meetup, and she used to work for a local TV station with my sister-in-law, which my sister-in-law, she left, and now she's running her own digital marketing firm. Let me tell you something. I had a chance because when she was working at the local TV station, she offered the chance for me to be on this show. It's called I think it's Local 757 something, and I was able to like share my artwork
Mm-hmm.
And I was planning on doing that last year, but she ended up leaving the company, leaving the station. So
Bummer.
it's like, but her friend, I met her friend. I mean, at the time, she kind of it was crazy how we met. We met at the networking meeting, and I gave her my information, and she asked me, you know, are you married to Holly? And I'm like, no, but my brother is. And she's like, oh,
She knew the last name, yeah.
yes, yeah, she's new to the last name, and so I've stayed in contact with her. She's with I think she works for a digital marketing firm now in Virginia, and I guess I can email her up and ask her if I can.
Just say, hey, I got this going on. I was wondering if you would help me out by pushing it a little bit. And if not, I understand. But if you know where I can push it, please let me know.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, a lot of people, every single person that we talk to, they're either going to help us or they're not. Or they might know somebody who can help us. So
Yeah,
it's
I think she's gonna help me.
yeah.
I feel she's gonna help me because
Yeah.
she'll periodically reach out to me.
Uh-huh.
You know, because she knows my story and everything. She's seen my work, and I think
That's
she
a
really
great
wants me to
resource.
get out there. So
Yeah,
I can hit her back up and say, hey, I'm doing the virtual art show in
absolutely.
August. Is there any way you can get me into the right people where I can push it out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yes,
like a little small little newspaper or something, a local artsy newspaper.
yes, exactly. So this is, a lot of people don't realize they can do this. I mean, every you go onto the website of any news station, any newspaper, any local magazine, um any big magazine, okay, they will have a way to contact them. And yeah, sometimes your email is just going to land in some junk box that nobody actually looks at, but it might actually go to the right place and it might actually help you. So
Yeah.
you write one email, tailor it so that it's good for basically anybody you need to send it to, and
Hmm.
just send it. Just send it. Yeah. Um, so that's a good way to promote that show as well.
Okay.
So let's see here. What else we got going on? Okay, so here's what you were interested in here. Disadvantages and advantages of solo or group shows. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, group shows are great in a lot of ways. They do have their downsides, but so do solo shows. So you tell me what you thought was different about what I had to say versus what you were thinking.
Well, what I was thinking was, I was thinking of having an art exhibit at my local community college library.
Yep, we've talked about
Um,
that one.
and it was going to be like I guess my own little solo exhibit.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to do that is because before the pandemic, I would really, that was like my studio in a sense. I would go up and I would reserve like a little study room and would do like my clients' work and start painting and stuff. And I would get like just people will walk past the room because it's like a glass room they could see through and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they would just be in awe of what I've done, like my portrait work. That's how I met one of my friends, Liz. She saw me, she came in, and we started talking. We just hit it off from
Nice.
there. I remember there was one time, it was me and Liz, we were talking, and I was painting, and I see these two little girls walking. They kind of just stood there, like with their mouth open, and their eyes all bugged out, like literally like that. And you know, they were just frozen. I'm like, and I kind of looked at them, and I'm like, come on in. And then all of a sudden I see like about 15 kids come running in, and they're part of like they're part of the Boys and Girls Club of Virginia Beach. So we came in, they all came in into the room. We all got crowded and everything. And we were talking about art, and I was doing a portrait of the creators of the Marvel comic universe, Stan Lee and the original cartoonist and the other co-creator of Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
And I was asking them about their favorite Marvel character, comic book character, where I should play Spider-Man and all those things. So it was fun. I mean, we were there for about a good, they were there for about a good 10, 15 minutes or so. We were just sitting there talking about art. But this one little girl, I remember, she was just so overwhelmed with what I did. And I asked her, "Do you want to be an artist?" And she was like, "Yeah."
I know. Kids
it was great. Because I took a picture. Liz took a picture of me when I was talking about it and stuff. And she said, "Man, she was like, when you was talking about art with those kids, you opened up, you glowed and all this other stuff."
You should try to get that picture from Liz.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. It's up on
I'd like to see it. You need to post it.
Yeah, I'll post it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted it up because it happened like last September. Yeah, I posted it up on my I think I posted it up on my Instagram and my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. And I also got it on my website too.
Nice. Awesome.
So yeah, I'll share it to you. I'll post it up on the art.
Oh, awesome. So yes, there are, there's some cons to a solo show. You made it sound like maybe you don't want to do one now. Can I ask why? Oops.
Well, I think the cons, I'm not ready for it yet. I guess because I think it's because of the prerequisite. I'm thinking I need to do more group shows to kind of get my feet wet more, and then once I get really well known, then I can do my own show. So I think it's more like maybe I'm stepping out of bounds or getting way too ahead of myself doing a solo show when maybe I need to do a little bit more group shows.
So
that's the thinking.
Okay. So your virtual art show is going to be a solo show.
Yeah.
But and you've already taken care of all of these things. Look, you have the inventory. You have sole responsibility, and you've done your marketing, okay? And you're gonna see how it all goes, okay? Then you'll know for sure whether or not you're ready for an in-person gallery wall type solo show, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
I'm just psyching myself out then, huh?
You are. Because here's the thing. My first solo show was not until late in college.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, I rocked the house. Damn, did I rock the house. Oh my God, I packed that gallery. Oh, wow. Packed it. Yes. Stand like squished together in there. People trying to get in there. Yes.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I should post pictures of that one. They're on a CD, and I don't have a CD drive anymore. I gotta find a way to get those off of there.
Right.
So let's see here. I like group shows a lot because I get to meet new artists. I get to come across a lot of new ideas. I get to see what's really bad and go, ooh, that ain't working for you. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's big. As much as we can learn from other people, you can learn exactly what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I've seen
I
some
hear you.
really bad
Yeah.
stuff on the walls.
Oh,
But mostly it really breaks down to making sure that you are listening for other opportunities.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. So that is why I love group shows. This applies anywhere, any calls. Like we were just talking about, sometimes calls are just shoddy. And the more and more you do it, the more and more you look at calls for work and the more and more you exhibit, you will start to realize which shows are going to be a total waste of time.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is pretty much that. How do you like this? So my grandfather was an English teacher for 100 years, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he would tell this to every single one of his students. Because he'd hand out a test or hand out an assignment or whatever, and right at the top, plain as day, there'd be a line of instructions, directions. And needless to say, every single time, some bonehead would be like, Mr. Weeks, what do we do about this? And he would just tell them, RTFD. And they'd be like, huh? And he'd go, read the directions. And then they'd go, well, what does the F stand for? It's like he taught high school English. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, guys, seriously. So yeah, show proposals, especially when you're working at a little bit of a higher level, you're shooting for a show that you're really not sure if you can get, but you want to try. You read those directions and you follow them, because
Yes.
as soon as they see one mistake, one direction not followed, they go boom, because they have hundreds of entries and they have 10
Yep.
spots or whatever it is. So you better make sure that it is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then, like I said, let's not try to shove ourselves into boxes just so that we can, try to participate in whatever show it is. If your work doesn't match the call, or if it's not your best work, just don't even do it, because it'll get thrown out. Especially, like I said, when you can tell it's a low level call and you're just like, yeah, whatever, this one might be fun. But when you're really working towards those ones that you're not sure if you can get, it does have to be polished. It does
Yeah.
have to be polished. So always good to have somebody look at your stuff first
Okay.
before sending it out. So it's good to have, I like to have somebody who's in the art world look at it. And then I like to have somebody who's not in the art world look at it, because
Okay.
they have a totally different perspective on like what art is, or like why. So I usually have them read it, and if they can understand it, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we get too wrapped up in, oh, it has to be artsy, it has to be this art talk. And frankly, if we're not getting our ideas across through our proposal, then it's not right.
I think we need to get rid of art talk, because it's, to me, to be honest with you, it alienates
Public.
a lot of people from actual art.
Yeah, it does.
You know.
It does. And there's been, for a long time, it was, art is for the lofty, art is for the rich, artists are highbrow, and I like to
No.
very much think that art is for all. Art is for everybody.
Yeah. Art is. Yeah. Art is not highbrow. Artists aren't highbrow. You got it, because they. If we were so highbrow, we would.
We'd be rich,
we would
right?
be rich.
They'd be paying us like they pay doctors and whatnot. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So, all right, that's this week's lesson. So do you have any more questions this week?
No, I think I'm okay.
Cool. I think it's really cool that you came to the conclusion that maybe this call that you're working on isn't necessarily for you or doesn't necessarily align with what you're doing right now. So
It's just right now I'm in a groove as far as like getting things set up for my show. I got the lineup as far as how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do like 3 days, like an hour long, maybe hour and a half long show for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where I'm showcasing some of my work, and all throughout the weekend, people can go to the website. Now, here's my question as far as that is there any way I can post the link while I'm doing the Facebook Live
yeah,
show, or is
you
it?
can just put it right in the comments. So just
Oh, in the comments.
grab the link from another tab in your web browser
Uh-huh.
and then post it into the comments. And there's this cool feature now where during a live video, if you
Yes.
post a comment because you're the host, there's a little tiny word down there, excuse me, that says pin post. And what
Uh-huh.
that'll do is it'll pin the post to the top of the comments so that link
Oh,
stays at the top. So people are typing their comments and they're coming in underneath that post,
okay.
that comment.
Okay. So like, right. So when I talk about it, those, just in case they missed it from all the other
Yep.
promos that I've been doing for them, here's a link to the auction site. If you want to bid on it, you can bid on it right now.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Exactly. So
You
just
know,
right at the beginning, do a little introduction. Hey, everybody, I'm Carlos. This is what we're doing today, blah, blah, blah. And right now I am pinning the post, pinning the link for you so that you have it in case you didn't.
right. And
Yep.
then because I can pin the link and the phone number too, if they want to just text their bids.
Yeah. I think you can
You
pin
know,
2 posts. If need be, you can do it like, every once in a while, maybe every 15 minutes or so. Just say, hey, if you don't have it, here it is again.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's great. That's
One
great.
other,
Because
yeah.
the way I got it set up, because they can actually, I think I can get the feed from my Facebook Live going to the auction site.
Oh.
There's a event hub there, so that they can check me out, because they have it where I'm like the exhibitor,
Uh-huh.
and if they want to check me out there, they can bid and I think see me there.
Okay.
So because I think I tied a link, because I know I had to upload my URL for my event. So
Okay. Well, hopefully it comes through. You may have, I don't know if you're going to have to like
if it don't,
something in the middle of
then
your
you know
live
what?
view.
If it don't, then the next show that I do, I'll do it on Zoom, or maybe I can do it both with Zoom and Facebook, or Facebook Live.
There's some sort of Zoom and Facebook integration that I don't know about yet. Yes.
Yeah, I know you can, because sometimes I'll because the Geo Galleries, this website where I have some of my work, twice a week they'll have a Zoom and a face, and this girl's, her name is Melissa Hernandez, and she'll have her Zoom call and Facebook Live.
So it's all
the same
one.
deal.
So basically her
Right.
Zoom call is feeding into a Facebook Live at that same moment, right?
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. I have to look into
If I
that.
can do that.
Yeah.
If I can do that, man, that's just, because then I could just, if you guys want to, if people want to chime in, and put their 2 cents in or whatever.
Yeah, I was
then
thinking
I
of
can send them
using
that.
Zoom for my next one as well, which I picked a date for. It's in October. So I'll be doing
cool.
another virtual show. Yes. And that'll be 6 months from my last one. So I feel like that's pretty good. So,
all right, I'll look out for it.
yes,
October.
very cool. All right. I think that's it. Next week, we're going to talk a lot more about calendaring. I always call it calendaring.
Yeah, you.
Yes. We're going to get way in depth on calendaring.
Okay.
So that'll be uploaded Wednesday, and I'll see you next week.
All right.
Good? Cool.
Sounds great.
All right. Good luck with everything this week. Let me know if you have any questions throughout the week. And as always, it is a pleasure, my friend. So I'll talk to you soon.
Yes. All right.
Cool.
Take care.
Later.